What's up everyone, welcome back for another video. Thanks for joining me. If you're not subscribed, hit that button. If you're already subscribed, you're awesome. Let's get on with the video, which is working on the 190e. And if you watched the last video with us mounting the rear bumper, well, remounting the rear bumper, you'll know I mentioned that I wanted to fix the fenders. So let me explain. So this is what the rear fenders look like. Well, the stock body rear fenders look like at the moment. If you didn't see the video of me cutting these apart, I'll link that in the top corner. You can go check that out. It's from a while ago. But this is what we're looking like. There's a gap right here leading into the trunk, which obviously you don't want that. It's not the end of the world to leave it like that, but especially if you had something like a drift car or something along those lines, you definitely don't want that because all the smoke is gonna go right in your car. This, you obviously don't want it because you're gonna have weather, dirt, rocks and stuff is gonna make its way in. That's the issue there. So we got our fender. I'm just gonna hold it up here because I don't feel like remounting it. That's where it goes, like that. Actually, this is sitting a little lower than it was, so I'm probably gonna have to remount this stuff, which is not horrible because we're gonna be making less wheel gap here, which is a plus. But anyway, so this is what it looks like right now, and as you see, you can see that. Let me get you a light, actually. So this is what it looks like as if it was mounted up to the car, so this would be nice and tight to the car. And as you see, you could see this, which is not good. We don't want that. Disgusting. Today's project, I started this on the passenger side just to get like a little practice doing it because I'm absolutely horrible at welding, and more practice makes perfect. This side looks the same. Obviously it needs to be cleaned up. I started doing this side. Where's my hammer? So when you're cutting these, what you really want to do, you want to make sure you leave yourself enough slack here, I guess, in the inner fenders. So always cut your upper one higher up. That's where you're going to want it to go. And then this, we're actually going to take a hammer and we're just going to bash this up. So it's just going to be, just going to smash it. This, some spots look like it might need to be a little better. Like this might not touch perfectly there. So we're going to deal with that when we get to it. But we're going to work our way around smashing this up, and then we're just gonna try to tack weld it as we go and get it nice and perfect. You get the idea. Some of the other methods that people do, they actually cut slices in the inner one and then bend that up. It's easier to bend it up to the outer fender and then weld that, but then you also have to make sure you seal all the little spaces in between because you're going to leave yourself with little gaps because you cut slits and you didn't stretch the metal. So this way you're stretching the inside metal to meet the radius that you made for the outside metal, if that makes sense to you. I'm just going to try to finish the other side. Then I guess maybe we'll do this side together. I don't know how it's going to go because once again, I'm horrible at welding. All right, I got the passenger side like pretty decent. My welding could be better. I don't know where the adjustment is actually supposed to be on the machine, but I guess that comes with more practice, but I guess I'll show you it. It's not the greatest, but I also did use the flapper disc on it to make it look a little bit better. That's horrible. Don't worry about some of this stuff. It's just like the rubber stuff. So like that dead spot there is just the rubber. But other than that, the welds, pretty trash. I'll probably do a little bit of body work on it just because to make it like look nice, even though you're never gonna really see it with the fenders off, but gonna do it just because I'll know that it's there. So I'll probably do some body work on it just to fill in the little bit of gaps and whatnot and to make sure it's airtight because once again, I suck at welding. And just to be clear, if this was something like structural for the car, I wouldn't be doing it myself. I would take it to someone that actually knows how to weld, just to make that clear. This is something that you could pretty much bang this up with the hammer and then put tape on it. You just need to seal it from the outside. So that's why I'm not too concerned about it. Yes, you can leave down in the comments how much I suck at welding, but it comes with the territory. Got to learn somehow. Now looking at this side, since we're going to start on the driver's side, everything looks like it's going to reach. There might be a little iffy like in this area right here. This area right here is definitely not going to reach. But I'm not sure if I'm going to cut this back more or I'll just get something to seal this spot. But once again, it just needs to be like kind of sealed together. I might not even weld completely around and then find some sort of seam sealer to just do the rest. Because I feel like that might be, it might look better than, once again, my horrible welding skills. I'm just gonna start hammering this up and see where it needs to be addressed. It might Like I said, I might need to cut a little bit right there just so this folds up a little bit more. I think I'm actually gonna do that just to make this arch a little bit smoother here. And then this spot here, it's probably not gonna touch. Can't find my painter's tape, so I guess I'm just gonna try to use this black tape, which is obviously the worst choice of colors to use on this car for obvious reasons. Not too crazy. We're just gonna really just try to cut this spot out anyway, so shouldn't be too bad. But like I said, we're just cutting this little piece out right here. Then the inner fender we really don't have to worry about because it's gonna give us a nice surface to weld to when we bend it all up. So let's just do that. Here comes the fun part of smashing this with a hammer. My wrist hurts now. So now that we have this bent up in the general spot, obviously it's not perfect because there's still gaps there. What we're gonna do, you're actually gonna start on one corner, one side. I mean, wherever you wanna start, probably better off starting at one side instead of center and working your way out. But you're gonna basically you're gonna need something to hold it with. You're gonna like bend it up with the hammer and then just tack weld it. And like I said, you don't technically have to go completely around. You could just do it in enough spots to hold it in place and then do a seam sealer of some sort. I mean, technically you could probably use duct tape if you really wanted to or something like that, but I mean, that's not the cleanest way to do it. But just gonna start welding, and then as you go, you could hit your metal up more to stretch it, get it in place, and keep tack welding around. Obviously this end, I'm gonna do this side a little later. I'm starting over here, so just see, you're just gonna bend it up into place as we go. Probably start tack welding like right there, and then as we go, I'm just gonna keep hitting it with the hammer. Also, before we start doing this, one annoyance with this whole thing is there's like a rubber fender liner in here. So if you don't grind or sand that back enough, you're gonna keep setting it on fire and not fun. So, I mean, I don't know if you could see here, hold on. You can see how thick this is right here, but that's on this edge. But there's a whole layer there. If you see, some of it's coming off already. Get as much of that off as possible. I guess a nice decent amount back. And you're also going to have to sand the paint off so you get a nice surface for your weld to stick. That's my extent of welding knowledge. And I guess the rest is practice. So I think I'm just gonna leave it where it is, and we're gonna do some sort of seam sealer because it'll probably look a lot cleaner, and also you'll never see it once it's under the fenders once again. I'm just gonna take the grinder with the flapper disc and just clean this all up. So it should look about 72% better. Thank God for flapper discs. There's my hat. Like I said, 72% better. If I wanted to, I could spend a little more time getting this better, but pretty flush now. I mean, there are little divots here, and there are little gaps from my horrible welding job. But like I said, this isn't structural. If it was something structural, I wouldn't be doing this myself because I wouldn't trust myself, apparently, by looking at those welds. You could tell how bad it is. Now, if we remember from the beginning how it looked, put this in now. Look at that. You don't see it anymore. Beautiful. Only thing is this little piece of bumper right here, metal, but the rest of it, all tucked up and away. I like. So that's it, gonna end it right there. Maybe the more I look at this, the more I kind of want to come back and just weld a couple more spots. So like maybe like right there, I might do a little bit. I don't know yet. I might just leave it and seal it off somehow with some sort of seam sealer because there is some some gaps here that need to be addressed. Same about the other side, just because when I cut the fenders the first time, I didn't fully take it all into account that I was gonna have to do this. So if you're doing any wide body or fender flares and you gotta cut your stock body, plan ahead. Leave as much inner fender as you can so you could bend it up and weld it to the outside like I did. Well, I guess you would want to do yours a lot better than I did mine, because once again, I'm bad at this, but practice makes perfect. And anyway, that's it for me. I gotta get the vacuum out or something and clean some of this up, because that rubber from the inner fender liner was, whew, that was disgusting, and it's all over the place now, so just gotta give a little quick vac. But that's it for me. If you want to support the channel somehow, if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything, well, you probably didn't learn anything about welding, but if you enjoyed the video or learned how to kind of do a fender flare on your stock body, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave some comments down below. If you want to support the channel in any way, you could use my affiliate links down below, you could use the Amazon links, you could use the Oxido links to get yourself some LED lights, with also with the 15% discount using my code. It's all in the description. Use those links there. Helps out the channel, helps me out, helps you out, helps us all out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.